Okay, Rotarians, the bell is back and so are the badges. They were safely in my house for a couple weeks. Let's ask Spencer, would you do the invocation for us?
Yeah,
I like this guy.
Are you gonna? Gosh, you put me on the spot and record.
Now I got to turn in front of the camera.
All right, we can bow our heads. Open our eyes that we may see. Open our ears that we may hear. Touch our hearts that we may love. Clear our minds that we may think. Strengthen our hands that we may work. Amen.
Thank you, Spencer. That's part of a new member. I mean, we just toss stuff at you right away.
no problem.
Thanks for stepping in. We did, there's lots of things going on. We did a lot of makeups. Please make sure that Bill is aware of all of the makeups that you did. And now, just remind everybody, what's today?
My daughter's birthday.
Well, great. What else? It's opening day, folks. Baseball's back. And Cleveland's on at 10 o'clock. I hope everybody is up and watching. It'll be a fast game because Cleveland will mow them down. Is that right, man?
Yeah, right.
Yesterday, Pollinator Project, want to thank those that showed up. And Rita, you're able to stand up this morning after you were bent over for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I apologize for being in jeans. I have another project today, and I just worked in my own yard.
Well, we find people in jeans. No, thanks for being there. It was fun, Bill. We got a lot done. I hope Minda was pleased with the work that we did. And Tracy, who was with us last week as a guest of Minda's, is going to get us some trees because one of the things that our Rotary International president said, please plant a tree on behalf of the environment. And so she's going to get us trees, I think, within the next couple weeks that we'll just hand out. You can plant them anywhere you want. Just do it on behalf of Rotary. And by July 1st, they're hoping that there's 1,200,000 trees all around the world for all the Rotarians that are going to put them in. Backpack Paddles today was fantastic. We worked with Sanford. The Sanford guys are a little slow. We had to try to, put this in the bag and you walk around here. But, we eventually got it done and probably did, well over 300
Something like that.
bags. In fact, they were telling us, stop.
Yeah.
But we got it all done in about an hour. It was great. And we will be presenting a check for our Rush Project, Rotary United to Stop Hunger, on the 12th. That will be with Teresa Dew coming for that. We also probably will be presenting the Wyatt check that week on the 12th. Just prior to the meeting, we're going to have our board meeting on the 12th, and there'll be a president's meeting, the Area 10 president's meeting. It will follow our meeting, but the presidents will join us during that meeting on the 19th. Next week, Chris, our own Viking DeLambert's going to fill in for me. I think that fits. I mean, Chris is out conquering I don't know how many things all over the community, and he'll be taking the reins of Rotary, so thank you, Chris, for filling in next week. The Rotaract meeting that we had talked about having after this meeting, Patrick tells me that there's enough in place right now that we're ready to do our Rotaract Get Acquainted with the community college kids on the 11th of April. Tommy Rosser couldn't be here with us today. That was another reason we decided not to have a formal meeting after this. And he's got some more specific information that he wants to share with the club. Tommy's really excited about us taking the reins on this one, and so is the district. and it turns out it's one of the prime objectives of the new Rotary president who's coming in July, to have more Rotaract clubs. And let's face it, Rotaract clubs turn out to be feeder clubs for Rotary eventually. And so it's a great idea to interact, then Rotaract, and eventually they become Rotarians.
The only thing to add to that,
Okay?
if you want to assist us on that day, which is April 11th, at the college, it'd be myself and John and Larry will look there later on in the day, but if you can assist, just see me after the meeting. I'm gonna try talking this Mike in the side of me to come over here and join since his kids go there, so. I'm shaking his head no, but we'll laugh.
Okay, a little update on Beauty and the Beast. Yvonne was with us for a few minutes, but she's having some difficulty recovering. She's got a Category 3 concussion from the fall and wasn't able to do much work. They basically have told her to stay quiet. And so she's been emailing us with some updates on Beauty and the Beast. It's going from what we originally planned to be the 26th, which is a Thursday, to Friday, because obviously there's no evening performance. Now, there's a matinee performance on the 26th, but not in the evening, so she just changed it with Peggy and Chris to the 27th. But one of the things that we've traditionally done when we've gone to the temple is it's been in place of a meal here. So we've used that money from the normal meal here and put it into feeding all our club members and spouses when they come to the temple. Well, this is a little different. We're inviting all the clubs in our area, all 4 clubs, to come and attend. And we decided that it's not appropriate to try to feed everybody dinner. But what most of the clubs have been doing, because this has been going on a quarterly basis, are providing desserts. So that's what Yvonne's going to do. And you're going to get an email when Yvonne gets to John, and then we blast out the email. The cutoff date, from what I understand, is going to be the 20th. So we're going to have to really coach our clubs, other clubs. They got to get in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 75, 80 people that night. Yes, Jim?
President Larry, along with that, I've got a sign-up sheet.
Okay.
So we have the balcony reserved for the event. So it's going to be desserts at 6 p.m. and then 7:30 is the presentation of Beauty and the Beast. But if you could let us know if you plan on attending, and the number attending, a lot of you might want to bring a spouse or a friend. But if you'll put that down as this sheet goes around, please.
And then you purchase your ticket from the temple, is that how you?
Yes, yeah. She wanted to make it a little bit easier because we got so many more people involved. Instead of collecting through the club, you go right to temple. But that glass, it better emphasize the fact, make sure when you're making your reservations, say it's Rotary.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to pay another $5.
Yeah, we've got a special rate of $22 instead of the usual rate.
Yeah.
That's right.
And John, while you're talking, do you want to give everybody an update on what the block party this year is going to be all about?
Sure. The next night is April 28th, the next day that is, which is Saturday. And this is the 8th year we're doing the Sanford Block Party, which is a beautification project to clean up and beautify a corridor. This year, you all know with Lee County Schools and Lee County government that they are going to be putting a STEAM school at W.B. Wicker School. So they're renovating the school further. They're putting in a science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths elementary school there. And the 4 blocks right in front of the school are the areas that we're going to focus on this year. So the Rotary has been actually very helpful in that in the past, and thank you for doing that.
Insurance.
Yep. John Taylor, matter of fact, last year was very helpful. 2 years ago, I'm sorry, that was for Cortland, and he's a Rotarian with Sanford and current president. So we're going to be doing it on Saturday the 28th. We're going to be doing it at 8 a.m. We're going to feed you breakfast. We're going to send you off for light carpentry and or yard work, maybe painting, picking up around the house, that kind of a thing. We're going to finish up about 1 o'clock, and we're going to feed you lots of food at lunch. So if you'll put April 28th on your
So should
calendar.
we go right, dressed like this to the temple and then go right there to?
Sure.
Okay.
Sleep in your car that night. and
Have you got everybody in your family coming?
yeah, I do. Yeah, my boys are teenagers now, and they don't have a choice. So they've gotten
Oh,
used
they
to.
do. Teenagers
Yeah,
do, but they still,
they grumble, and I shake them out of bed and say, "Come on, we're going to go do something with Rotary."
cool.
So, thanks.
All right. Any other announcements for the good of the order? Okay, Van, did you take a swallow and do
Yes,
a
sir,
sergeant
President
arse?
Larry, thank you
Oh,
so
gonna
much.
I'll do it next week.
Okay.
Jeremy's gonna fill in for me next Thursday. I got that covered. I'm going to the car show. Okay, today we have two visiting guests today. They're our program, Tim Kopis and Kevin Brown. Let's give them a big round of applause. Don't have any visiting Rotarians or anything like that, or guests or anything like that, so we're going to move right into announcements. Anybody got anything they want to bring before the club at this time?
We have, excuse me,
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Whew.
we have
Silence kills me.
Family Rotary Night, 7th of April at Greensboro, the Grasshoppers. It's part of a Rush project also. If you're interested, there is a sign-up sheet going around. I will get group tickets for everybody. So if you want to go, sign up.
And for Jim as well, I mean, Jim's working really hard for us on the Pots of Gold. And we're about, I'd say, 150 tickets behind from last year. And Pots of Gold funds all of the work that we do in this community. And last year, ultimately, we wound up with over 900 tickets sold. So if you can sell more, please do that. Most of them are out in distribution, but we know where some of them are sitting and they're not moving. And we can start getting in touch with these folks who are not selling and saying, please, there are other people that could do this if you'll just get your tickets back. So we emphasize the fact that if we want to keep doing what we're doing for the community, and Chris wants to keep donating the money that we've been doing, which is well in excess of $20,000 a year going out to this community, we got to sell tickets. It's not easy sometimes, but you got to go ahead and do that. So we'll put quite a bit more emphasis on it in the next month because we got to get it done. Okay.
Thank you. Any other announcements come before the club at this time? How about any brags? Anybody got anything there? All right, Terry.
All my change too.
Well, I don't know about that.
You know what, this is a good brand.
That's epic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand beside the president, because this is funny.
We got more money
You know what?
than those, though.
Uh, This is, Larry, this is for the Rotary Club Queen. Yeah, the Rotary
What are you talking to me
No,
about?
no, no, I'm telling you, the Rotary Club Queen, I got an opportunity to speak to her a few minutes ago, and she's coming back. She had a couple of bruises on her face and everything.
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting for all the guys, since she's our Rotary Club Queen, we all put in like $1 together and buy her a little queen thing so she can wear when she comes to the club meeting. And every time she come in, then she have to wear her little crown.
I think she's already got one, but if you do another one,
Yeah.
if you go shopping for something, I'm sure the club can handle that expense for our queen. She was here and,
Yeah, she was here.
and wasn't, as we said, wasn't feeling so well. When Charles came in, and Charles does all of the get well cards for people, we said, well, Charles, you don't have to send it to Yvonne because she's here today, but you can go ahead and give her a kiss. And she said, not on this cheek, because this is the one that fell. So, over here. Okay. And we have 2 minutes before we do the introduction of the program. And Al, I don't want to...
We got a brag here.
Yeah, one more
Oh,
brag.
I'm sorry. You got
That's okay.
Okay.
Terry, thank you so much. Howard, you got one? Rita.
Lost money everywhere.
right for the camera.
What you got,
Get in
darling?
front of the camera.
I was informed the other day that I am been selected and approved at the State Board of Elections level to serve on the Lee County Board of Elections. It's a 4-year term, so.
Congratulations. Morris, you got a brag.
Just recently I took my son from Atlanta and my nephew from Las Vegas. We met in Miami and Isla Morado, and each of us caught our first sailfish, we caught our first snook, we caught our first barracuda, and at the end we hooked an 8-foot hammerhead shark.
Woo! Hey, that's a good brag.
Great time.
Okay, how about anybody else? Yeah, Patrick.
I'm gonna bring in the pork chop I had last Friday night in the South. If you ain't got a chance, you should go definitely check out the Steel Pig and this new menu. Ain't nothing about the owners any special than anybody else, but the food is really good.
But did you see the letter to the editor today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a little encouragement, but that's what you've been saying for the last week or so. That's where you're going.
Yeah, that's been the intent, is to get it back to where we felt like it used to be, so.
Cool.
Maybe get another Rotary and meet over there.
I guess I do need to thank on opening night, two fellow Rotarians, so I think I got $2 in here. Patrick came in and Don came in with a party of 6. The only issue with that was we didn't know Don was coming. He wasn't in the book, but we accommodated them as best we could. We had about 30 people show up at 5:30 that all thought they had reservations. So it was interesting, and the kitchen was behind. But we're proud of the food over there. Where Van goes. But yeah, I want to thank these guys for coming out and hope to see all you guys real soon.
You can
We're proud of
have
what we're doing over there. And we do have our liquor license as of yesterday afternoon. That was hard.
That's what I was waiting.
Yeah.
Chris, Patrick, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed on the Steel Pig. Any other brags? Okay, Larry said today. Go ahead.
I'm sure.
Go ahead,
Get it out here. New grandbaby girl born on Saturday. 8 pounds, 11 ounces. Her name is Juliet Sky, and the Sky is after the Isle of Skye because we've got a McDonald clan in this family going way back, and they came from the Isle of Skye. I think that's cool. And she may wind up being Sky rather than Juliet because it's such an unusual name. But I'll be up there on Saturday, guys, taking care of the baby, walking it around. That's about as far as I'm gonna do.
Fantastic. All right. Larry said it, today's opening day for baseball at Yahoo, but it's also my daughter's 27th birthday.
All right, man.
She's going to New York City, and I get the privilege of taking care of her 65-pound female German Shepherd dog that's all puppy. Let me tell you, boy. I'm going to have my hands full for a few days. But any other brags to come for the club? Any other announcements or anything? Back to you.
Okay, well, I was going to turn to Al and ask him to talk a little bit about what he said to the kids about integrity and wrestling and everything. But the 2 minutes that we had set aside turned into a lot of brags. So Al, again, thanks for talking to the kids last week. So the program for today, Chris, are you doing the introduction? Yes.
Guys, today we got 2 good friends of mine. Tim Copus, who I spend more time with than my wife, I think, sometimes. I don't know. Tim and I don't know, we got our hands in a lot of stuff together. And Kevin Brown, who is the director of the Man Center, they are the backbone, along with a couple other folks, of the Arts and Vine Committee. And the Arts and Vine Committee has sort of transferred into a different entity and now is trying to promote and produce a series of different events that aren't the traditional pottery type festival. And the first of these is going to be the I Love Beach Music Festival, and let me get the date right, May 12th. This will be held on the grounds at the Man Center, and these guys are going to tell us all about it. Give them a round of applause. Tim Copus and Kevin Brown.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Rotarians. It's great to be in front of you today. In fact, some of you may have already seen this presentation. John, if you've got some email to address, you go right ahead. No trouble there.
I want to have it again.
As Chris mentioned, I'm the executive director of the Mann Center, the former Sanford High School over on Steel Street. And to shake up this festival that we've been producing for the last 5-6 years, we're going to hold it on the grounds there. We'll have some great beach music, some art, drinks, entertainment, games, food trucks, and it's going to be a great program. The Mann Center, it's repurposed from the days of a high school to a community resource. We have a number of nonprofits, national and locally, that occupy the classrooms turned into office space, along with a 340-seat theater that we have a number of productions at through the year, some ballets, dance recitals, concerts. The orchestra, the Lee County Orchestra, plays there a number of times a year. Semi-professional production companies come in. We let Chris and the Temple handle the big acts, but it's a great theater. That's where the funds are going to go this year, is to improve the sound and lighting in there and make that just a more modern facility. And I'll let Tim tell you more about the actual concert and the event itself. Tim.
I think our battery just died, so that's always a great thing, right? But anyways, but it will be a great event this year. We want to thank a couple people. I know that Van and Sam Silliman help us out every year with our printing and those needs, and he's one of our big sponsors there, so we really appreciate that. And there are still some sponsorship opportunities if you're interested in it. But since we have no battery left, I'll just tell you about it. We're going to have 3 great groups. The chairman of the board are going to be there. I don't know if any of you watched Live at 9 on Tuesday night, but they were there and talked about a lot of the old days where they had performed all over the world, and still yet, I think he said that on the urban charts last month that they actually topped out Beyonce and someone else for the #1 spot on there. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to have to check his facts on that, make sure he's right. But anyways, they were there. They're great guys. They had a great time. The Embers are going to be there, and of course the original Tams, and it's going to be just a big party out there on May the 12th. Kevin and Tom and some of the other folks on the committee have been working very hard on putting all the logistics together on it, as far as the streets and transportation and all that good stuff. So they've got that set up. You want to tell them a little bit about the parking situation as far as what we're going to do with that?
Sure. Well, the property takes up that whole block between North Horner Boulevard and Steel. So the grounds will be all festival. We're going to have parking off-site. Some local lots and street parking. Will be shuttling people in. We've hired a fleet for the evening, so they'll be coming from a number of different areas throughout downtown. And the gates will open at 1 o'clock. The music starts at 2 and will go to 9 p.m. The 2 local bands, Bad Moon Rising and Working on Commission, will also be sprinkled in there between the main acts. And some of you may know my wife, Sandy Cole, of all the rest of those Cole Potter outlaws. She made me commit to turning pots out there all day. So some of the artists we've got a glass worker and a woodworker. Hopefully he'll be out there, and yeah, so demonstrating and selling some of our wares. And Boards by Will be out there. Some of you may have seen him at Hugger Mugger or some other events here in town. He does some great custom boards, cornhole boards, gun cabinets, dart boards, that sort of thing. He's going to be setting up out there on the basketball court, if you're familiar with the property. It'll be a great little game space for cornhole, darts. We'll have some scoring stations and bistro tables out there. The VIP experience, we're selling tickets at $20 for the general admission, but there's a VIP ticket available for $35. That gets you into some special amenities. The VIP tent will be serving some food and drinks throughout the day, some seating in there out in the sun. Bedlam Vodka will be in there serving some cocktails just to the VIP. We'll have Hugger Mugger and
Fish Hippie Winery, which is a North Carolina winery. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that, but they're actually out of the Mount Airy there, and everything they do is North Carolina based. Their labels, their corks, everything they do for their wine is done here in North Carolina, and they're going to be there in the VIP tent too. And both of those folks will be pouring, just so you can taste and sample those things. And so it's going to be that complete VIP experience, and we'd love to have you all to come out there. We're only going to have 300 of those tickets available. And I think we're already about a third of the way through those. So,
And those are only advance sales. They won't be available the day of we'll need to know the needs for catering and all, but yeah.
And we have professional sound and light, the people that do a lot of Live Nation events up in Raleigh and different areas. They're going to be coming in to do that. Dan Fowler with Fat Productions, I don't know if you know him or not, but he's going to be providing sound and lighting and that type of thing. So it's going to be a great event, a great thing for the community. The main reason for, in the past, every year the festival has picked a different charity. Last year I think it was the Temple Teens. The year before that it was the Lee County Orchestra, and we typically would pour in $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 into those so they can help with line item budget needs they have. And this year, because we are bringing it back to the Mann Center, the funds that are raised from this event are going to benefit the auditorium at the Mann Center. Chris and the guys over at Temple, a lot of times they'll have acts that they just can't accommodate because of the schedule or whatever. And if they do the update on the sound and lighting in there to where they can handle bigger acts, better acts, that type of thing, they'll be able to house some of those things and take in some of those different events that come that way. So all those things are going to go to help the Mann Center renovate that auditorium and bring that lighting and that technology up to grade.
It's too bad the battery ran dead. Tim put a nice video presentation there that you can't see now, but you can see a lot of the information on the website, sanfordartsandlighting.com, off the postcard here. There are volunteer and sponsorship opportunities still available. We are producing, with the help of the Herald, a color tabloid. And this is last year's, but just to give you an idea of things. There'll be in excess of 15,000 distributed, and for $175 it gets you quarter page color. Great way to help support the event, get the word out. And tickets are available online. You can purchase them at $5 less than at the gate. Today they're $20 instead of $25. The VIPs are on there as well. But you can also see me for tickets. We have special pricing for groups.
Right, we do have 3 different ticket package events that if you own a business and you want to be able to do a tax deductible donation as well as maybe get a little bang for your buck. If you do a $200 ticket, it'll give a $200 package. It'll give you 10 tickets to the event. Plus, it'll give you 2 VIP tickets, so you can pass out 10 tickets to your employees and have 2 VIP tickets. If you do the $500 package, it'll give you 25 tickets and 4 VIP tickets. And if you do the $1,000 package, it'll give you, what is that math, Kevin? 50 tickets and 8 VIP passes. So we would love for you all to, if you have a business and you'd like to support that and be part of it, we have those ticket packages available, and we'd love for you to be there. And if nothing else, please take some of these posters that we have several around, and I think we've got some more up here. If you'll take them back to your businesses and wherever, your civic clubs and other things you might be involved in, we would love for you to take that and be part of it and come out and support it. We're going to have 3 legendary groups. All 3 of them are in the Hall of Fame, and not very often that you have something like that in Sanford. So
We'll have a dance floor up in front of the stage, so bring out your shagging skills. And if you are unskilled as of today, at the Mann Center on Wednesday evening at 7 through the first week of May, just before the festival, you can come out and Billy and his wife Joby Deese will teach you how to shag. They're no cost, and come on out and learn to do it.
And I will tell you, it works, because I come from a long line of Baptists, and I was doing my 6 steps pretty good last night. But anyways, no, come on out there. It's a great time, and we had every week there's a little different crowd there. But every Wednesday night at 7 at the Mann Center, they have room 216 back there towards the back of the hall right before you go to the auditorium, and they're in there. And husbands and wives. So we've even had a few folks that have just come stag, and we sort of pair them up, and it was just a great time. So, and if I can do it, hey, anybody can do it. Kevin's going to be there next week. It'll be great. But any questions? Anybody have any questions or thoughts or any good stuff?
Come and get the tickets. Come and see me at the Mann Center. You can get the number for the contact off the website and give me a call.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
thank you guys. I think this is gonna be neat for the community. We'll all be out there to party with you. Beach music is a wonderful venue for us to have here. And we gotta let you know that our club has been working with Kevin and Kelly Miller and several other leaders in this community to extend the Sister City program that we've been doing here in Sanford now for the last 3 years.
3 years.
And because of our connections in Mexico, we are hoping that we'll get a delegation of 3 or 4 people coming up here in May to visit with us about connecting, just as we've done with Rotary, because we have a sister city relationship, or sister club relationship with the Las Torres Satellite Club in Mexico City, outside of Mexico City. And it's just, when we started talking with Kevin and Kelly and Jan Hayes and Bill Horner and the others involved in this, it was just unnatural for us to take the next step from Rotary to community. And so I think this is probably going to come about. If it doesn't happen where we're signing papers in May, it will probably come about in June, because the clubs in Mexico are very excited about doing this. When you think about things that we have in common and what we've been doing and sharing information over the last several years, this is a perfect community. Now, we're a little smaller than they are. Their communities are in the neighborhood of 400,000 people. But they have, you know, the pottery, the culture. Our Hispanic community here is marvelous and ready to support us. So I think this is going to be a great connection. And Kevin, thanks for making this coming about to happen. Kelly's going to be here on the 19th of April. And by that time, we hope that our relationship is pretty well established and a visit set up for early May for them to come. But this is exciting. This is really going to be fun. We have a couple of minutes, Al. Would you, Al, Mr. Al, you know, when he was called at the last minute to talk to our kids over at Edwards, you know, what we had to talk to the kids about, and this is really important. I mean, when you get in front of our 5th graders, it is tough sometimes to have full attention of them. And you need people that they're going to sit and listen to. And so, and they do listen to their own heroes in high school. So the wrestling team was supposed to fill that void for us. Well, they couldn't come because they couldn't get out of school. And so I called Al and I asked Al if he would come and talk to our kids, because of his background as an All-American wrestler and obviously football too at West Point. But to emphasize integrity to these kids. And unfortunately, there's a few of them that don't even have a vaguest idea of what integrity is all about and how important it is in your life. So, Al, could you just tell a few minutes of what you coached the kids with?
Sure, I guess so. What I related was that integrity was an important part of the curriculum and the experience at West Point, because they have something there called the honor system, which is ingrained in every part of what you do at the military academy, not only in academics but in sports and in everyday living. And explained that the honor system is based on the tenets that you do not lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate anyone that does. And explained that in our classrooms, that whenever there's testing or things like that, that the professors are not that, most often are not at the test sites, because it's an honor system. They pass out the test, and it's a 40-minute test, and for example, and you take your test, you turn it in, and go on your way. And there's no talking, there's no looking at everybody else's paper and things like that. This goes on as far as your living conditions, or your living responsibilities as far as when you're supposed to be in your room, when you're supposed to be studying, when you're supposed to be someplace else, like at the library or whatever. You actually have a procedure that tells everybody where you are at a particular time, and that's where you're supposed to be. And then I related that it carried over in sports, and the basic was wrestling, the integrity aspect, because you have to be true to yourself too. When you get involved in things like wrestling, there's two things there. First of all, it's an individual sport, so it's you and the other guy, and you know how much you practice and how much you get involved in staying in condition and all of that. You're true to yourself and making sure that it's the best you can be. Wrestling is a little bit different than most sports in that there are weight classes, and you need to be conscious of that. And I wrestled a 190-pound class, and when the day of wrestling, I couldn't be 190.5 or 191. I had to be 190 or under. Well, a lot of that has not only is working out and conditioning, but also dieting. And you know, who's going to watch you all day long and how you eat and what you do? You are. And so you have to be true to yourself also, and that carries on throughout life. That there's oftentimes you have to function with your own integrity to make sure you do the right thing, and et cetera, et cetera. And they got good attention. Because I stood in front of them with my arms folded, and I made sure that I looked at everybody, and nobody was saying anything. It was a good time.
Yeah. And we obviously connect all this to the four-way test, and the four-way test starts with, is it the truth? And that's what it's all about, and we're trying to emphasize this with the kids. If it's not true, it's not right. And it's all about doing the right thing. And afterwards, several of the teachers came up to us and said, we're sorry that some of these kids didn't give you the undivided attention that they should. But you got to remember too, we have to do this in the gym because the group is so large, and so it's hard for them because in the gym environment, they're going to make noise. But for the most part, I think the message got across, and we felt good coming out of it. And Al, thank you for filling in the way you did. I know this is a shock to you, but we're finishing early. Hey, Larry! So,
mark that one in the books.
I would like to draw the numbers, and Dan, you want to do this one first?
Yeah, sure. We raised $56 today, $28 to the winner, $28 to Polio Plus.
Right.
Make sure I get that right. And let's see, who's going to be our, Nash, would you please?
Our treasurer is so honest. Is it the truth?
And the last four are?
8926.
8926?
No way. No,
Oh, come on.
I'm sitting next to him next week.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Neil, congratulations.
He walks off with money every other week.
You got it, right?
We have, I screwed up last week in my haste to get out of here because I had a very important massage appointment. That I forgot to pull 2 tickets because we skipped a meeting early in the month. So we're gonna pull 2 tickets today. So Mr. Al, since your granddaughter won last week, come and pull the first ticket, please.
And you didn't tell everything that you forgot.
Yeah, go ahead, tell the story.
That you forgot to get to the massage.
Do what?
You didn't sign the check he gave me.
Oh, that.
Yeah. He gave a blank.
That's true. Well, no, it was filled out. It just wasn't signed. Okay, this is Neil Night Longer.
Oh, that's Keitlinger. That's one of mine.
Okay,
That's CUOC.
hold on a second.
I'll go sell him a few more tickets.
Laney what? How does O-O-R?
Keitlinger.
Okay. And that's 8, 9. All right, put that back in there. Oh, you did, no, you, everybody gets, Neil has to get everybody gets a chance every time, so we had to put that ticket back in.
Okay.
So,
I'll go with integrity.
Yeah.
There you go.
okay, and this one goes to, what is with you?
What is it?
Linda Moore, Larry Aiken.
Oh, she's been a previous winner too.
There you go, Larry. Here's some tickets.
Okay,
We're done, boss.
so the four-way test is gonna be led by Neil, who knows this by heart because he does it every week for us. He wins.
Four-way test for the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, we are finishing early. If anybody wants to just come up and talk.
it's 1 o'clock.